We got the full band back together for Off and On the Clock today, and we are going to hop in a, wait for it, sprint draft. And this is all to do a service to our friend Jewish McCaffrey, so he doesn't have to go in 19 discords and say 3 of 12 sprints. So we're going to do him a big solid today, get one of these filled, and we'll catch up with John, maybe get some NBA playoff thoughts from the fellas as well. This is Pete with Off and On the Clock and the Badge Bros. Let's do it. All right, John, back in the saddle. Nez, how we doing today, fellas? Nez, are you been staying up late watching all these this playoff action, or how have you been juggling that?
Yeah. I'm up. I'm absolutely up at those hours, and I caught the fourth quarter in OT of Knicks Celtics, and then watched all of Thunder and Nuggets, and I mean that was some of the best like playoff basketball in one night. I think I've maybe like ever watched, like when it comes to like like multiple games, you know what I'm saying, like a slate of games in the playoffs. Phenomenal stuff. How about every home team losing too? It's so much is crazy.
John, what about you? Are you watching hoops? You watching hockey? What are you spending your time on?
A little bit of both. I was flipping back and forth last night, but I did watch the majority of everything. Actually, I was sitting right here doing drafts and hanging out, and just had the split screen going there. I mean, I echo the sentiments of Nez after those game sevens kind of fell flat on their face. It was really refreshing to get a second round series that started this way, and both road upsets, stealing home court, etc. So yeah, man, shout out Alex Caruso, who just played the F out last night. That was beautiful to watch. I mean, that was big time. Man, I think the Thunder effed up at the end of that game, man. Like with the fouling and not taking enough time off the clock prior to fouling. Like I understand fouling when you're up 3, but like they did it multiple times, and then they let Joker check back into the game. I don't know. I thought it was a little mismanaged. I thought it was a team that hadn't been there before a little bit,
Yeah, I've been jealous. I wake up in the morning and see all of the fallout for these. A couple of my college buddies have been sweating all the hockey games, and I've been going. You factor in the East Coast time and me going to bed early, and I wake up to like hundreds of messages. Obviously, the Deposit Kingdom, and I'm like a detective trying to piece together what happened in the games last night. But yeah, I love that the Nuggets are live, and Nez reminded me we had done the NBA show a couple months ago. I think our first dance show, right, Nez? And I asked you for who's a long shot that I could bet on to win the Western Conference Finals, and got you suggested the T-Wolves at I think it was plus 2,800.
Yeah, it was crazy. I saw that and immediately identified. Like I was just like that was not good. Those were bad. They're now like plus 900 I think to win the finals, and I made that a big part of my dance portfolio. I was telling John yesterday, but they gentlemen swept the Lakers, so I don't even have that many left. So like kind of upset about it.
Yeah, that's the sick part about our contest juxtaposed to like actual real life playoffs, is that you're playing like just futures, like you smash, but the fact that there's just so much variance in series length with our contest, it's pretty sick.
Yeah.
It's a huge bummer because I was looking at my dance teams, and we drafted 2 from that initial one, Nez, and I'm seeing now that was on the February 25th, and that's the one that had advanced, but it's a dead team with the Bucks on it. Whereas the team we drafted with Scott, the Pacers build, that one barely missed being able to advance. It was like on the bubble, and that thing was like nutted. It was Pacers Denver.
We had Pacers Denver and contrarian Pacers too. Like we scrolled down like Nemhard and Obi Toppin and shit like that. So yeah, it was fun.
Jesus Christ.
That's the thing that is cruel about, and I guess different from the NFL playoff best ball of like the single game stuff, where it's like in NBA you can be right and still be wrong if it's a sweep. It's like you can be 2 right if you're like they're gonna advance, but they don't get enough points. That's a bummer.
Yeah, I didn't think the lower seed was going to be the one to do that, but here we are, and I just got to hope that whatever I have left can make it work. But yeah, being 2 right, story of my life, guys.
So at this point, with the Cavs, the Thunder, obviously the Celtics, who do you guys think is now or still the favorite to win the NBA championship?
I still think it's Thunder in like a decent way. Like I think Thunder and Celtics just feel like the two best right now. Zinger injury last night we'll wait and see kind of deal on that one. But I don't think the Knicks played well last night. The Knicks just happened to win last night. Like it was the nut low run out for the Knicks where like 2 quick ones for Cat, 2 quick ones for Brunson in the first half there. And then basically the Celtics just didn't attack the basket and bricked a whole bunch of wide open threes. That's not going to happen for the entirety of the series. And the Thunder mismanaged how you play Joker, where Joker went 45 and 20 on their heads because they had Chet on him way too much. And it's something Nez and I talked about all yesterday was like they need that Hartenstein matchup with Chet on the help side more so. So anyways, I still think it's Thunder and Celtics right now.
Yeah, I'll say Thunder. They're just such a good team. You know, I still got them, but like I really do believe deep down that like the Minnesota Timberwolves like are a absolute wagon. They're just so complete in my opinion with the way that they're put together. And Julius Randle being like a second option there in Minnesota, I think is like a really big deal over like Cat as far as like an offensive option, considering they have defensive prowess to go around those guys with McDaniels and Rudy Gobert. Like I truly believe that the Timberwolves are like a very, very real contender. So I'm going to keep riding that, man. But Thunder are still the favorites. It is what it is.
Is that like the league's worst nightmare? What would it be like? Cavs Timberwolves? Is that the final they'd want the least?
Probably.
Yeah,
it's the one I'd want to see the most. But yeah, it's probably
you'd want to see that the most.
A healthy Cavs against the T-Wolves, I think would be incredible.
Okay,
and you know that would be the most directionally accurate way for me to feel good about myself because those I was building those teams left and right in the dance. I hope the Cavs don't get knocked out. They're in trouble right now, though.
I'd rather see if T-Wolves get there, Nez. I'd rather see them play the Knicks because of the storylines. The Cat and Randall trade, like how the whole season's set up. I think that's the one that I'd prefer to see if the T-Wolves went the distance. But I think both are a little far-fetched right now. But I think last night, anything.
America getting like fully introduced to not only the player but the personality that is Anthony Edwards would be a pretty cool moment too.
It would be really good for the NBA. It would be really good for the NBA because he has so much charisma. Like, you know, the Jason Tatum tried to like make himself like the new face of the NBA last year whenever he won with all his like he was practicing those moments like for hours before they won. And it's just like
speech at the end there. Yeah.
It fell so flat. No one was feeling it. America needs an Anthony Edwards championship. Like we are ready to usher in Anthony Edwards as a star and the face of the league. Like it's time.
He's throwback to Kobe and Mike, like every night, fuck you, put you in the dirt mentality. And I think that resonates with people, man.
It's so funny you say that too, Nez, about Tatum, because I think it was when you were out, but I was talking to John at how I had been watching the Celtics documentary on HBO. And the last episode was this previous week. And so like, you know, they devoted episodes to like specific eras. And the last episode was obviously about the 2024 team and, you know, Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And even though Tatum is an incredible player, like on the charisma front, after watching the KG Paul Pierce interviews, after watching the Larry Bird interviews, obviously Bill Russell, even like guys like Kuzi and like the charisma that these guys had. And you're just like, you want Tatum to just have a little bit more there because it's just like, this is boring, man. It's boring.
Yeah.
It's too nice.
Drew's the coolest of the bunch.
I don't even know that I've heard a Drew interview.
A Drew Holiday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the Bucks days, those interviews were good.
And even like Jalen is super cool, but even he's like very kind of like understated and just like I'm gonna let my actions in game speak for itself. Very
and I'll be
articulate.
and I'll be a hater too. He's almost like purposely mysterious. He's like, yeah, like I'm just like so quiet and so smart. Like, did you know I have a PhD, by the way? Like, he just it's like a whole part of his shtick. Like Anthony Edwards just like, I'm talking to President Obama, and I don't give a fuck who you are. Like I'm cold. Like you should know who I am. Like you just we need him. We need Ant.
Shout out to ADD here, living up to the ADD name because I think he might have gifted 5 Badge Bros memberships twice. Maybe he forgot that he did it the first time. Sorry for that joke there, but thank you sir to Badge Bros Nation for those membies.
Yeah, that's last night's MLB champion, 85 on Underdog there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, beautiful lineup last night. 2 contrarian left-handed Milwaukee bats in there that we talked about on the show there, and then a one-off JJ Bleday who gets a walk in an intentional walk in the 11th inning or whatever to just load the bases up so that they could face the best contact hitter in all of baseball to walk it off on them there for no reason. But shout out to him there. That extra 3 points got him over the Seedmeister and got that 3K last night. So beautifully constructed.
Congrats, man.
Team. Yeah,
that's awesome. All right, let's talk a little sprint here. I think we've been obviously the lobby is packed full of NFL contests. I think it's kind of fun for us to bounce around a little bit, show some of these other contests some love. Everyone's drafting BBMs, puppies. I get it, myself included, but had fun talking through the eliminator strategy last week with Nez. If you guys missed that, that's on both of our channels up there. Some good conversation. I was thinking today we could hop in the sprint. I would say the big change this year is really just the price point, right? From the $50 down to the 20.
And that's a great change. That's a great change because one of the biggest knocks last year on the sprint was the fact that it was a brand new style contest that people didn't know how to draft it, and to enter in at a $50 price point, people were a little shook. They were a little gun shy, myself included to some extent, where it was like, oh man, we don't know much about this contest and I'm just going to start aping 50s. So I really like the team recognizing that and going about this. Also, other thing, guys, I was going to ask you guys because I missed last week was the multiple clock option thing. Thumbs up from everyone on that one, right?
Seems like it.
Yeah. The only complaints I've heard is just a little bit of liquidity issues, specifically on the 30-second drafts. It makes sense, right? If you offer 2 options and you're now essentially splitting the player pool between those 2, it's going to take slightly longer to fill. The 2 things I would say to that, one, from my experience, the 20-second drafts are filling a lot faster right now, which makes sense because if you're a sicko drafting in May, you're probably inclined to be able to rip off more of these. I also think as we get closer to the start of the season, there's just going to be more people drafting. There's going to be more chances for this to get filled. So I think if you're drafting now and you're a little impatient, try the 20-second. I kind of like bouncing around. Like if I'm going out for a walk or whatever, and I want to hop in one, it's like, let me see what the Schnauzer 20, Schnauzer 30, puppy 20, just whatever one's close to filling, I'll just hop in that one.
It's funny when you say Schnauzer 20 because we're gonna fucking get to Schnauzer 20 by the time it's all said and done too. You guys think there's gonna be this new like Galbrain alpha of like all the sickos only want 20-second draft? Like I'm gonna EV scoop these 30-second drafts.
Future manifesto research to be done there, because like that'll be in the data. It'll be in the data to show like what when a draft was done, and it'll be there. And then there'll just be this random pocket of like super efficient 30-second drafts. It'll be all from on stream from us.
That is. Yeah, if you extrapolate, right, and people were asking Mike this, Leone, when he was on Best Ball Breakfast Monday, and he had done some of that research. And I know Michael Dubner looked at some of this stuff. People always ask those questions: fast draft, slow draft, drafting early, drafting late. With the speed or slow draft versus fast draft, the data was not that conclusive. It was kind of up in the air, but it's still like Leone basically said if you can do the fast drafts, you probably want to tilt it to that because you're just going to catch people making mistakes more. So if you extrapolate that thought, 20-second drafts late at night when people are coming home from the bar they don't have the patience for 30 seconds and they've been sipping on the devil's juice. I think that's, if you want to go bum hunting, 20-second drafts late Friday and Saturday night.
All signs point to me there. That's
right. And I draft my version of that is like I get up and I'll do like a morning walk with April or something, throw her in the stroller, and then I'm up with like all the other dads who are completely sober, drafting, at 7 a.m. Those are the sweatiest rooms there. There's no value to be
had. Yeah. Everyone has got coffee. They're like extra alert and on it. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, I will say for this one, we'll do 30 seconds because I like being able to have a little extra time when the three of us are drafting to talk things through. So if you guys want to draft with us, 2 more spots. Look at everyone excited.
Let's go.
JMC, this would bring a tear to his eye to see the sprint snap fill like that.
I know. I wish you could be here. Yeah. He can't watch right now because he's at the doctor's. But I know we're making him proud.
Wow. What so great for his brand to single-handed, I talk about, dominating a niche or owning a niche, like just become obsessed with one specific game type on Underdog. JMC is synonymous with the sprint. That's a lesson in brand recognition right there.
Yeah, seriously. We were kind of talking, I don't know if maybe it was before, or I can't remember if this was before we got on or when we were just live, but the ADP in the sprint is a little crazy. It's a little crazy.
This same thing happened last year with Josh Allen having this elevated thing. And at the time, like I understood the mechanics of why it happened. Like, hey, someone takes the quarterback early, whatever. There's not a huge sample size of drafts. It is weird to me that the exact same thing happened again with the Josh Allen here at 6.3.
I don't get it. I mean, it's not even like there's been like 55 lobbies. So maybe all it takes is just like one person. He's probably getting auto drafted. I don't understand. I don't understand at all.
Yeah. I mean, if we go a little gal brain on the scoring format and stuff like that, like schedule, in my opinion, means a lot for this contest, right? Like we'll dissect the 3 weeks of playoff there. Because the biggest difference in this contest and everything else that we play on the site is the fact that week 16, you don't need that 1 out of 16 or 1 out of 13 or 1 out of whatever. So you don't need absolute ceiling. So is there some merit in the onesies being pushed up just in general? Not suggesting this high, but just pushed up in general because, their floors are so high in this range, for 3 straight weeks.
I'm Bijan here, by the way.
Yeah, I'm good with Bijan. John?
Yep, sounds good.
Yeah, I guess like I don't know if I'm like nitpicking, but I mean like you still need like absolute ceiling. You know what I mean? Like you if you don't score 170 points minimum like week 16, you're probably not live. Like
right.
you really need to put up some crazy scores to be live for first, like, and it needs to be week over week. Like,
right.
I put up 150 and I was like 500th place last year. Like,
sure.
Yeah.
Because like, I think my point is more to like, if we did the BR for 15, 16 and 17, like, and Josh Allen had cupcake matchups at home and they were fighting for playoff position. So, he's going to run more, whatever. He's going to be a top 6 pick over and over and over again in those weeks in the BR format, right?
Got it.
For sure.
Whereas, like, if one of those 2 weeks, Justin Jefferson draws, Surtain for one of those matchups and people are a little more down, like that sort of thing. I don't know if it's the combination of ceiling and floor that boosts the onesies. That's all I'm asking. I don't know if I even believe what I'm saying. I'm just kind of throwing it out there.
Yeah. It's just, I like, the Battle Royale exam, and you know this too. It's just like the opportunity cost, when you're drafting in a 36 player pool versus, 216 or whatever. you're not going to lose that. Like, you can draft Tony Pollard in the 6th round with your Josh Allen and get a starting running back, the 6th round, where it's like the 2v2 you're playing on Josh Allen. You're passing on some really high ceiling running back and wide receivers. Let's see here. Ladd looks good to me here.
I do like Ladd.
Yeah, Ladd or JT, I think.
Right. Let's go Ladd here and see.
Yeah. This room might be a little pissy.
Yeah. Yeah, Trey McBride goes right before us. And well, I'm glad we have the 30 seconds because we have to like have this like Sprint beer goggle ADP.
I know.
Where you have to double check everything.
I'm about to pull up Leg Up on the other side of my screen and like see where we're at, like pick wise, and then pattern match it and see who's around.
Yeah. I also just want to say for everyone, because I remember Sprint stuff last year, and part of it was the price point, but part of it was just people like were confused about the format, thinking like it required this entirely different strategic approach. I will say the Sprint is a really good one to do before the NFL schedule, because we talk about all the correlation that we care about in the traditional, Best Ball Mania, the puppies, etc. In this one, those 3 weeks are all worth the same amount. So you're not trying to optimize for week 17, or if you're a week 16 bro, they're all worth the same. So the things you're trying to do, have your team peak late, the rookies, the breakouts, etc. You don't need the schedule for that. It's just a blanket thing. So it really, the only difference is no pods weekly. You're just trying to get the teams there in the same way you are Best Ball Mania, but then it is essentially like a rotisserie best team from that point on. And so what ends up happening is a few teams emerge and it's harder to climb. The fun about the pod is you can sneak your way in, have an awesome team. In this one, like you were saying, you got to have the nuts.
Respook going ham there on us.
Garrett Wilson is topped by Leg Up, but I think the wide receiver here is somewhat flat. I like Chase Brown too at pick 29. What do you guys think?
I lean wide receiver. I would either do Tyreek or Garrett Wilson, I guess.
All right, let's do Garrett Wilson then.
Okay. It's interesting to see how much further down he really stood out to me, Garrett Wilson, when I was juxtaposing a couple sites there, like ETR versus Leg Up versus whatever. Garrett Wilson's quite polarizing one. Like he's kind of buried in the ETR stuff comparatively.
Yeah, I've seen some dissenting opinions too on it, on just on Twitter. About just, if Garrett Wilson didn't have, like that one season, like where would we be really thinking about him? I still think that he's really good. So I'm holding out. I'm holding out hope. I don't think we can be too results oriented with his career so far.
I'm like willing to give him such a pass for how things played out last year. I mean, we were slamming every single Davante Adams number on Underdog we could give us targets over, whatever. Like, Aaron Rodgers was just dialed on this dude. Like there was a clear preference anytime it mattered. And maybe you can say, Davante was a better player last year at that time. Like, I would buy it, but the opportunities were not evenly distributed. And I think now with zero competition, going from like one of the best wide receivers in the league to fucking Alan Lazard opposite you, Garrett Wilson is gonna eat this year.
I also think
Justin Fields related. Sorry, just real quick.
I was going with that same narrative that I think you want to talk about preferential treatment. Maybe the pendulum swung so far in preferential treatment here that now you have college teammates together, and now it goes from no tunnel vision last year to full tunnel vision this year based on their previous relationship.
I mean, he had statistically, didn't he have his best season last year too?
Fields or Wilson?
Fields.
Oh, Wilson?
Yeah, I'm speaking on Garrett Wilson here. Yeah, like 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns, even still.
Yeah.
With what we're talking about here, like it is interesting the way he's being discounted. I just think that you really can't go wrong with like these like these big movers from year over year that like are moving down, and we don't think they're getting worse at football. Like they're just such smashes.
Yeah, I mean, we do it in the dailies too, right? It's like the recency bias of what happened last week. I mean, one of the biggest things you do, it's like Jonathan Taylor has 4.6 points one week, and then the next week he's a 6th round pick.
Yeah.
Evans at 4.8 seems like a gift.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a pretty big fall.
I don't. He's like normally a fixture of the 3-4 turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
ETR has Evans side by side with Devonta Adams, and we get him 15 picks later.
Yeah. And I think
a fun start.
That's the fun thing. Like, people talk about, wanting to save their bullets for stuff. And I mean, getting in these contests before the ADP gets better too. I mean, think about the values we're getting in this room because of a Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, those 2 picks there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Really, really getting gifted here. Man, I am a little worried about Mike Evans, declining a little bit this season, but that price is obviously really good. Are you guys worried at all? Mike Evans just decline. I mean, not that he hasn't shown any decline yet, but
I don't have a ton of concern. I definitely think his 1,000-yard campaign could be in jeopardy.
That's what's in my head.
I also think he can just offset a little yardage stuff with Sun running another big touchdown, season 2.
Sure. Yeah. He's always good for that. That touchdown efficiency's always just been insane.
I love Benny's comment in the chat. He goes, Evans is elite sprint play because if he's at 500 yards after week 14, he's getting 500.
That's incredible.
I
do like Chuba.
Yeah, Chuba, Ridley. We could also Hurts at 5.5 is pretty nice.
Yeah, you don't need to stack him either. I'm cool with Hurts.
Just keep value hounding a little bit here.
Yeah. You don't need to stack Hurts either. So
no,
that's a big I mean, compared to the regular best ball ADP, that's a 4-pick value.
Yeah. I like, Evans' game too. I just think it's he's not beating people with his speed or whatever. He's just he's so good at the catch point. He has a really good rapport with Evans. The Bucks team total every week is going to be 30. He's one I'm kind of willing to ride into the ground where it's yes, there will come a year where I select, 12% of him and it falls off, but I'm just going to keep riding with Mike Evans.
Yeah, I like that point about his game aging gracefully. I think that makes sense.
Can we circle back on a macro 1 second there? Pete, you said this contest for you, the schedule doesn't matter as much for it, but then you kind of cited the correlation stuff that we're doing in other contests. Do you guys think being densely correlated plays better in this contest because of the week over week scoring? Do you think it plays worse
in terms of onslaughting?
Yeah, onslaughting a team and being we don't have the schedule right now. We just hope the NFC West is shit and Arizona plays 3 high scoring games in controlled environments.
I kind of would take a less onslaughty approach in the sprint. I think is my first where my mind goes first, and trying to thread 3 needles.
Okay,
I think I agree. I think the onslaught stuff is really good for regular season stuff. If you were trying to hit the nuts with a regular season prize in Best Ball Mania, where it's I'm going to onslaught a cheap offense. I'm going to onslaught the Panthers. I'm going to onslaught the Saints. And if they overperform, I'm going to be cooking. But then you open yourself up to so much risk when quite literally 1/3 of your team is maybe has a down game in one of those weeks. I do think in this element too, the ping ponging stuff is probably less attractive too, where it's I have Jalen Hurts and Barkley. Right. Barkley gets me there, and then I have a unique Hurts team. Barkley doesn't perform and Hurts, where it's here, that's all washed out in the 15 through 17. But yeah.
What do you think about ping ponging off of other people's starts? So we're not the Barkley team, we're the Bijan team. Does that boost Will Shipley for us? Or is it just like it's moot point? It's the same as any other contest.
Well, because I don't think that's with the way the amount of teams that pop in, like you're not really getting a leverage angle when it matters most in 15 to 17, right? Like if Shipley's a hit, you're going to be going against a shit ton of Shipley teams regardless.
Right. Yeah, that's fair.
2 gal brain.
We got a 113. Laporta isn't a bad price here at 68 if we wanted a tight end with some upside.
Godwin sets up a double too if you want to go that route.
Mm-hmm. I think if I would go Laporta.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just given the conversation we just had, not that that's a bad double stack because we really like the offense, but give ourselves a an elite like high ceiling tight end to try to get in one of these weeks. I think the way to think about the sprint, not like 1-to-1 overfit this comp, but like almost like 3 different like weekly winners type of like building where it leads me to more like skinny stacking in that regard.
Yeah, I think that's pretty sharp.
Yeah, I don't even does anyone have or know who won or the lineup that won the sprint last year? I'd actually like to look at that.
Let me see if Donovan still got it up.
Yeah, I didn't make the finals. I can't look.
He had you wouldn't be able to see anyways. He had the leaderboard. I got to pull it up. Okay.
Yeah, I'd be curious what that construction looked like.
So it was 537 points, won by 2 points. So do the math divided by 3 there. It was a
537 divided by 3, so 179 average.
Shit. It was a 2583.
Hang on, let's make our pick real quick. Probably should grab another wide receiver here. Pickens seems nice to me. I also like Jaden Reed.
Let's do Reed. I prefer the backstack option. Gives another quarterback out.
Okay.
We still have Herbert. We still have Fields too. I think we can be. And we have Hurt too. Nez, do you like Pickens or Reed?
Reed.
Why isn't this okay?
Oh good. Wow, that was a ghost queue.
It was a ghost queue. I was like, I hope I had that right. Yeah. All right. Tell us the team.
Yeah. So it was Joe Burrow, Jared Goff at quarterback.
Okay.
The tight ends are really interesting. TJ Hawkinson, Cole Kmet, Tyler Conklin. The reason I say it's really interesting, I mean, if I'm reading this right, I mean, maybe these points aren't showing up correctly because it looks like just 33 total points from his tight ends in the entire sprint. That must not be.
Share? You want to share?
Yeah, I can share my screen. Yeah, there's no way that's like showing all 3 weeks there. I'm not sure where that's coming from, but I'll pull this up.
Okay.
I mean, Conklin. Yeah. All right. So here's the team: Joe Burrow, Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs, James Conner, Raheem Mostert, Chase Brown, Estime boys, directionally accurate, rise up. ARSB, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, T. Higgins, Jerry Jeudy, Ricky Pearsall, QJ, Whittington, with Hawkinson, Kmet, and Conklin for our audio listeners.
Yeah.
Dude, maybe this was.
I mean, you got obviously the huge spike week from Pearsall the last week. I think this might just be showing for some of them week 17 and for others cumulative because like obviously Higgins is like
I think it's showing any scores that were registered. Hit. Yeah. So the Hawkinson basically was only used for 1 week, presumably, because it's only a 7.7, whereas Conklin was probably used for 2 with that 26 point whatever.
So here's week 1. Jared Goff was like have to have it that first week of the playoffs.
Yeah.
This would be week 16. Damn, week 16 was a
James
letdown.
Conner Jacobs.
And then week 17, See if this
The
checks
Burrow
out.
nuke, the Burrow Higgins, and then Pearsall sneaks in there. Look at his running back scores too. Low that week.
Wow. And then there should be week 18. Yeah, and nothing counted. So that was right, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
He only had 33 points in total from his tight ends. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
like blowing my mind.
But look at the wide receiver firepower he had with those first 4 picks.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay, we're back on the clock here. Let's see here. We could do Baker with Evans and be done or we could grab Ibuka, set up kind of like a double stack and see if Baker comes back.
Yeah, we already have a QB, so maybe what do you think, John?
Yeah, Mooney or Ibuka or Downs, one of those 3. I think you can just keep pushing quarterback a bit now.
I think Ibuka is again, like in this format, like we're trying to get some breakout. And when we take Ladd, Wilson, Evans, Reed, I think we can take like a pretty high upside swing. We already need Baker to cook here in this scenario. The Godwin drafter is behind us, so they could definitely take Baker. But with Hurts, I'm still completely fine having, Ibuka and Evans without Baker.
Yeah, we got a lot of back stack options too. What do you guys, when we have this Hurts single right now, like this is like only a 2 quarterback team for you guys, and Laporta, it's only a 2 tight end team. Or do you guys venture outside of that?
Seeing as the winning lineup last year had 33 points from tight end, like I'd probably lean two tight ends here.
Yeah, I respect it.
Yeah. So Baker does go, which is fine. Wow, Car Park coming in with the 10 Badge Bros Membies.
Much love to our guy. Actually, Pete, I put it in the Discord, but nobody probably saw it in the puck thread there. I was sitting in a dive bar in Alaska there, just catching up, like getting out of the rain for like half an hour there, and a big Coast Guard team rolls through, and 2 of the 3 of them were wearing Car Parts
That's
brand.
wild.
Yeah, and they
That's
were
cool.
wearing the Troll Cove stuff. So I took a picture of one of the women. Was like, "Oh yeah, for sure. Take a picture, send it to your buddy." So shout out to our guy.
That's so cool.
Yeah, he took down
That's
a big
awesome.
pick'em on the site last night too.
Did he ever? Holy shit.
Winners stay winning.
Oh.
I still think we wait on quarterback here. Jonnu's a slight tight end value. Najee pairs with Ladd. I also like Scattaboo and Mason in this range. Probably sit out wide receiver here.
Nez and I are becoming the Scattaboo guys. We're the Scattaboo guys, so I think we got to keep the train rolling here.
I love the Scattaboo stuff.
Yeah.
I would say this. I like Scattaboo at ADP. I hate Tyrone Tracy's ADP right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really bad. Scattaboo is such a problem for him.
Fully agree. We made the lazy comp yesterday of like, it just gives you old school Antonio Gibson vibes where it's like everybody in the fantasy community wanted this to be a thing, the pass catching running back who can also do some early down stuff because he's not that small kind of thing with Tracy. Whereas, the football hand in the dirt coaches are going to be guys that fall in love with Scattaboo.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're going to be running the rock quite a bit too. And he's, way more traditional, put the ball on his belly running back. Like, obviously, as you just mentioned with Tracy being the former wide receiver.
And I just think to me, it's like the Scattaboo's skill set is high value touches, short yardage, goal line, catching passes, protecting the quarterback. You're going to need Tyrone Tracy to be an absolute big play machine to then pay off that ADP if he's losing a lot of the high value touch work. And he wasn't actually as successful as a runner last year as we wanted to. A lot of his fantasy value came from volume, which was great. Like where you drafted him, it was awesome. But man, I just think the setup is significantly worse this year.
Yeah, agree. I got like some off the cuff like comps for Scattaboo. I know like Peyton Hillis, Rex Burkhead.
I knew you were setting up a bit here when you started.
Danny Woodhead. These guys, I don't know. They yearly remind me of him for some reason. I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah.
The Scatabo, like how his production profile and stuff, like versus like his tested athleticism was like pretty bizarre because he was productive against good teams too. Like,
They had no business being in the playoffs like that, like the college football playoffs like that.
Yeah.
You can't. Can you name anyone else on that Arizona State team? And they were in the college football playoffs with him just doing everything.
yeah. All right. I kind of like grabbing Trey Harris and seeing if we can get the Herbie double.
Yeah. I really like Trey Harris a lot here.
He's going much higher than this well, not much, but he's going higher than this in BBMs. I'll see him inside the top 100.
Yeah. I know. Leg up, Pat's got him like right at like 100 in best ball. So that's where the puck is heading. So getting him at 119 is crazy.
This is the spot to thread the needle on the slight ADP value. No one else has Chargers. Herbert 121. We pick at 125. If the one hole wants to take an unstacked Justin Herbert slightly ahead of ADP, like go for it, I guess.
I know that would be really irritating, but I think we should be insulated from that. All these people have QBs, so fingers crossed here.
The Hurts stuff still. Jordan Love is also right here with Reed.
Yeah, that's nice.
We're in good shape.
Trey Harris was round 2 or round 3 guy.
2.
That back end or middle round 2 with the Chargers' second pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, hard to not be excited about him.
Yeah, like him, Ladd. What is it? Big Mike Will, and then
QJ,
Dustley, and Conklin.
John, do you have a bunch of comps for Trey Harris, or is it just for Cam Scatterbo?
Yeah.
Let's not go. Let's not do this bit where John tries to name black wide receivers the first that come to his mind.
I always just remember, it always makes me think of the Billy Eichner bit, the show Billy on the Street, where he goes up to people with $1 and it's just like, name a person, any person. They're like, I just imagine John going, name one comp for Cam Scatterbo. That'd be a great New York City man on the street bit.
Yeah.
I actually saw a good comp in the chat for Scatterbo that was white Mark Ingram. That's kind of fun.
See that? Now that's a comp. I mean, you can just say Mark Ingram. That's a good comp.
You can just say Mark Ingram.
But that is a good comp. And Tracy's kind of like Kamara-esque.
That's high praise, but yeah, I get the comp.
I mean, stylistically,
okay,
not nearly as good as peak Alvin Kamara.
That's hilarious.
So we got two quarterbacks.
Yeah. I honestly like this team a lot, and I think we've kind of hit some nice value pockets. So we got Hurts and Herbert at quarterback. We got Bijan and Scatterbo at running back. Wide receiver, Ladd, Garrett Wilson, Mike Evans, Jaden Reed, Igbuka, and Trey Harris, and then Laporta at tight end. So legit ceiling at every position. I would like to put Dallas Goedert on our radar. Not that we have to force the stack, but like getting at the weaker position, getting Hurts stacked up there, I think would make some sense.
Mm-hmm. It is leverage off the other Hurts stacks in a playoff format too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you get the 2 touchdown.
And off the Will Shipley teams.
Oh, yes.
Very important. Very important.
John Legg awake at night thinking about how to get leverage on the Will Shipley teams.
God damn it. How am I going to beat these wagons?
Yeah. Kenneth Gainwell in weekly winners. Kenneth Gainwell in weekly winners one time.
He's a Steeler, buddy.
Yeah.
See. I don't see anything at wide receiver here. Do you guys want to just lock up Goddard?
I do. Unless running back would maybe be an option for us, right?
Yeah, like Garendo is a nice price here.
blue.
But like blue is fine, yeah.
Like, who's gonna win out in Dallas?
That was like a whole hour segment on ADP chasing today.
Oh, I missed that portion of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one
that
half
I
of the
love
show.
how it wrapped up was Davis being like, what if there's no winner and everyone in this backfield gets like 2.5 yards per carry? Or it was like at the very end, they're like, wait, what if it's actually Miles Sanders?
Yeah. And then Pat was like, it's Miles Sanders. And like, I think he might be right.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare though. And I'm not trying to figure it out this early, but I don't hate blue as a pick, but maybe 141, little steep considering how many there's guys back there. And I thought blue was better than he actually was too. So that was a little bit of cold water for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
like you're like mentally you thought he was better at Texas than what the numbers actually say. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just have this idea of him being like a good prospect. Maybe it's from like college football, best ball. I can't remember how I got take locked on that, but I'm coming off it slowly.
So running back's a little rough here, especially because we have Bijan, and I don't love that for Algier. Like Rashad on a thinner team on our Tampa Bay bet could make sense.
I think it cannibalizes a little bit. I think in BBM doing White makes sense in this format. I might stay away.
A lot of these guys are like big fallers here.
QJ triple stack, but
I'm just putting Braylon Allen in real quickly.
Fun. That's fun.
Yeah,
there's two ways he can win too. If they pull the trigger on a Breece Hall trade, he's a winner. If he's just better, he's a winner. There's a lot of ways that one could break.
We also have Garrett Wilson, so we're playing this Jets offense to be humming there. This is one of the spots where actually setting your ranks ahead of time can be helpful because it's like Bigsby and Ford are two of the biggest fallers. And then normally I'd pound the table for Algier there, but we have Bijan, so it's just like.
Yeah, I got to. I think is Bigsby missing from the leg up ranks?
They leg up. Sent Bigsby to the Shadow Realm.
They did. Holy shit.
I knew that was happening when because I did the show right after the NFL draft with Sacrilegious, and we were talking about the Jags, and I asked him his thoughts on Bigsby, and this was before the rankings had come out. And he's like, I think Bigsby's going to do one of his patented 50-yard runs right to the practice squad. So I think that's when I knew the leg up position on taking Bigsby.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I sound like I'm excited about him, but just seeing where his ADP is and knowing that opinion is it's crazy. But yeah, I'll keep these ranks up. That way I can at least guide us toward a decision.
I'm picturing JMC just like getting a physical, like at the doctor's office right now while he's just like, sorry, doc, these sprint drafts happen just far too infrequently for me to miss this right now.
In the middle of an x-ray.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hate the Braylon Allen pick that we made. With the Garrett Wilson correlation, and yeah, man, he just looked good. I'm probably gonna have a lot of wishful thinking Braylon Allen on my teams this year.
Turn your
back. It's a great team name.
That's literally me as the contrast went in during the CT scan. There you go. Respect. Yeah, no, and I mean we're just in the range where we gotta go get our guys. There was a pretty big running back run there. Maybe you say we take Blue, but seeing that Kyle Pitts and Likely got snapped off after we took Goddard, I'm kind of glad that we locked that in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was a good move.
And honestly, all jokes aside, it might be time to go Shipley chasing too on a Hurts team and a running back needy team.
Now you're speaking my language. I mean, yeah. I think it was Best Ball Breakfast, and we talked about it a little bit yesterday. I think it was Leone who brought it up, that like the disparity this early in terms of mean projection between like rounds 15 and 18, it's like just take whoever the fuck you want. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to see here.
Shipley.
Like
UTR has Giddens up here and Rico. I don't hate Rico, but
Rico's fine. Yeah.
We got some Tampa Bay pieces in case they end up meeting.
Yeah, let's grab Rico. Yeah, we just have to stack some like nice contingent bets at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Rico got a raw deal, man. Rico was better than ending up as like a split second/third guy somewhere.
Dallas should have just re-signed him if this was their
Right.
plan in the draft.
Yeah, you can't tell me you're better off with Miles Sanders.
Jerry Jones got too active on Twitter and really took to heart the RB's DM hashtag.
He's gonna get so jacked up on Lev retweeting those Nick Chubb videos that Nick Chubb is undoubtedly.
Oh my god, that would be
undoubtedly.
That would be a scenario.
He can't quit it, man. He's like, the Zeke thing didn't work. I know it didn't work, but Nick Chubb.
He said the Zeke thing didn't work. He's like, no, we're gonna make it work again with new Zeke, which is Javonte Williams.
Yeah,
literally, just young Zeke. Are you thinking running back here again, or do we? I guess we kind of have some flexibility to maybe do wide receiver.
Yeah, we're at a 2-4-6-2. We got the Hurts and Herbert. I mean, we loaded up pretty nicely at wide receiver. Probably done at tight end and quarterback. So
pretty good Yeboah value here if he falls to us.
Who's that?
Kenny Yeboah. Pretty good value on him if he makes it to us. ADP 170. he's showing up in the ADP.
Normally I'd be totally on board, but on a Laporta team, I think it's a tough sell.
Yeah, how does that happen?
He's ADP 170.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Names that stick out to me, running back wise, are Eckler and Roschon and Giddens.
Yeah. Dude, Eckler went. Yeah.
Oh, okay, he just went. Roschon up there as well. If we want to go running back,
I like Giddens is another kind of like if we just want to stack these like pure handcuff swings behind Bijan and Cam.
Okay,
Giddens is a good one.
Yeah, let's do it.
Am I living in the past by liking Jalen Wright's name amongst those ones?
You're not living in the past. This range is where we start to get the like, are you the RB2 or RB3 combo? And it's just so binary, right? Like if he's the RB2, it's like a smash. And if he's the RB3, it's like the worst pick you could make.
Yeah, it is tough right now. I think the tie break is like take the guy that a team just spent a draft pick on, which is like what we did. There is a chance that Jalen Wright is like a good pick. I'm definitely like, recency bias, and like I didn't think he did anything last year when he had the opportunity to do something. And I kind of like Ollie Gordon, even though he fell big time. So that's that's where I'm at with the Jalen Wright thing. But I don't think it's wrong to like have your process take you to Jalen Wright.
Might be living
I
in the
completely
past,
forgot that we hadn't. I just in my head we had already taken Will Shipley.
Shit.
So we let him go. He did go ahead of ADP by a little bit, but
man, how are we beating Shmo in the sprint finals, man? It's not happening.
I'll tell you how. We take AJ Dillon as leverage on his Will Shipley.
Oh,
today I learned what? Holy crap.
I don't know where I was when I missed this news item 2 months ago that AJ Dillon agreed to a new contract.
He was on his farm simulator.
Quads.
Man, Kenny Yeboah and Josh Allen. You got to get your exposure in non-sprint contests to those two.
That's hilarious.
So we got 2 more picks. If we're done at quarterback and tight end, one's definitely a wide receiver, and then could either go 6 running backs or 8 wide receivers.
I think we're done at tight end and QB.
Yeah,
I think so too.
We could do Jalen. He came back to us, John.
I'm fine with that. I mean, Palmer doesn't he go in the 150s in BBM?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Should we grab Palmer here at this price?
I'm with it.
Is Lockett gone too?
No, I don't think so. You overriding us for Tyler Lockett here?
I don't know. Palmer's fine. I think Palmer should go higher.
Yeah.
What about that?
Let's just pretend he's still on the Chargers and we just got the triple stack.
There we go.
Well, I was thinking of another name.
Okay.
Here, I'll put it in the chat here. See if he's still there.
I can't wait to see who this is. Oh, I think he's gone.
Okay.
He's gone. For everyone
at
at
home,
home,
that didn't have an AEP for a while.
yeah, Keenan Allen, he went 148 in this one.
Wow, that's a little early.
I mean, I don't know how taking Keenan Allen 2 rounds ahead of Adam Thielen when what you're hoping for is that Keenan Allen does what Adam Thielen is going to do. I don't know.
Reespook did say he was working right now.
Oh, he's working.
He's
working hard.
I asked this to the chat after you left yesterday, Nez, and we kind of just bounced around names and stuff. Like guys who are going undrafted in BBM right now that could, maybe factor in to stuff. Like people were throwing out the LA third running back, whatever his name is.
Jarquez Hunter.
Hunter. People were throwing that one out. People were throwing out Nick Chubb's name. People were throwing out Noah Brown. I don't know. Justice Hill was another one. Anyone that you guys are thinking of that are like guys who you haven't really seen get drafted in BBM that are like viable?
Hold on,
let's make this pick.
Probably should go running back.
I like Lloyd.
Yeah, I like that.
Or
Dobbins. What do you think, John?
Jarquez Hunter.
Lloyd or Dobbins.
Lloyd
Dobbins or Chubb, I think.
I like Lloyd just because everyone was taking him in like 120 last year, and Jacobs got a year older and he didn't even play last year.
Yeah.
So, I don't know why it's just interesting to me that he goes this low now.
Yeah, we get Bijan and Cam, and then we say if Breece, Chuba, JT, or Jacobs gets injured, that we have a pretty nice asset on our hand.
Yeah.
All right, here's the final team. Wait, do we still have one more pick?
Almost. More. Yeah. We got one more pick to make.
I'm like, this team's already done.
They can have our 18th round pick. I don't donate that. So yeah, we have a luxury pick, I suppose. With this last one.
I think it's wide receiver.
Yeah.
Is this where John pushed us to take Big Mike Dub for the triple?
Oh my god.
No, not necessarily. I'm looking at some names down here. What about De'Ami Brown?
Yeah, no, Hayden floated that when we drafted on Monday.
That makes me feel better.
Yeah. De'Ami is a professional ass wide receiver. KaVontae Turpin has been like a popular late dart throw of late.
Oh, yeah, I've been seeing his name a lot.
Are we still scarred from our trip to Jerry World where we were over leveraged on KaVontae Turpin hires?
Yeah. He's still the bad taste in my mouth is still there.
We're over here sliding KaVontae Turpin up to 90 yards while Jack and his brother just, bank the long shot right behind us.
It's crazy. So sick.
Head of winning. I'm kind of like locked in on this guy, Pat Bryant, for Denver.
I like him.
Very much locked in on him.
The new Michael Thomas.
Some are saying. I had a buddy tell me that he really liked him pre-draft, and I do like the landing spot for him in Denver. It just feels like it's just to me it just feels wide receiver 2. Mims did a lot in a little bit of time that was kind of exciting, but man, Pat Bryant just feels like a real wide receiver 2. I guess the only thing that I did hear about Pat Bryant, not about him personally, but just him and Sutton kind of do similar things. So can they be on the field at the same time, or is he just kind of like the incumbent? That's like the one negative thing as far as the fit goes.
Ooh, Diami goes. Deontay Johnson goes too. That's kind of fun.
Man, Deontay. Wow.
That's kind of cheeky. Why not?
Cheeky. More like showing your ass cheeks, John. Deontay Johnson.
Okay, is Jermaine Burton dead? Is Yoshi Voss dead? Like, that team can score a lot of fucking touchdowns, right?
Asking if Jermaine Burton's dead is like borderline insensitive, but
yeah. I'm good with Pat Bryant here.
Wait, I didn't get the reference. Why is it insensitive?
Jermaine Burton is. I mean, he just ruined his whole career, man. He's yeah. For all intents and purposes,
Yoshi Voss is an interesting player still. I think just because he'd have some nice contingent upside if Higgins or Chase got hurt.
Right. Yeah. What about two? Okay, so I got two other names from last year. Are we ready to declare dead? Roman Wilson and Malachi Corley.
I'll defer to the Steelers guy on Roman Wilson.
I haven't heard a single good thing about Roman Wilson.
Right.
I would leave on more of a candle for Corley than I would Wilson. Corley, at least you could see the way they're running this offense. There's very little competition. The thought was maybe they start doing like the Debo gadget type stuff with him. I think he'll at least get some touches where Roman Wilson might just not ever see the field.
You know, as a professional ass wide receiver who's free in the last round that also is on the Jets is Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, someone mentioned Josh.
You want to bank that 48 fantasy points.
That is a name. For whatever reason, I thought Malachi Corley was like much smaller than he is. 5'11", 215 is not a bad size for a wide receiver.
Yeah. All right. Here's the final squad for real. Jalen Hurts and Justin Herbert, Bijan Robinson, and the next Mark Ingram, race agnostic, Cam Scatabo, Braylon Allen, Rico Dowdle, DJ Giddens, Marshawn Lloyd at running back. Wide receivers, Ladd, McConkey, Garrett Wilson, Mike Evans, Jaden Reed, Emeka Egbuka, Trey Harris, Joshua Palmer, and Pat Bryant. Tight ends, Laporta and Dallas Goedert. I like how this shaped up.
The team's kind of fun. This team looks pretty good. Like, we're going to need some running backs to break right for us, but kind of evergreen with the way we build.
Having Bijan be the anchor is very nice though. Mm-hmm. And Scatabo should have a week one role. I like this team a lot, man. I like this team a lot. Like, obviously we need things to go right here, but if they do break right, this team's a wagon. We're trying. You don't win 100K or what is it, 150K?
Yeah,
in the sprint by shooting for floor.
Right.
It's I like how the wide receivers are kind of layered there too. We got some vets who we know are going to perform, and then like 3 rookies and Egbuka, Harris, Pat Bryant. Like, if you get one really nice hit out of those guys, the team's in good shape. Quarterback, tight end situation looking good. I
like it, man.
I think this one for sure. I think it's fun. Like, if you want to get in the sprint, like my recommendation, go talk to ChatGPT, figure out how to convert your IDs from regular BBM ranks to sprint ranks. Just upload them and draft it as if you were doing a BBM and just get some insane values on these guys that are arbitrarily priced differently.
Yeah, absolutely.
People are worried about AI taking our jobs, but I will say ID matching, column matching for these,
let the robots
models
take that job.
Holy shit, man. They struggle hard. Be careful that you don't have Rachaad White in the first round whenever you upload your ranks after ChatGPT matches your IDs over. That's all I'll say.
Or just take Kenny Yeboah and live a little. Trust the market in the sprint.
Yeah, get him in the sprint.
What does the sprint market know? How many drafts had happened going in? So 704 heading into the draft we just did, which means less than 60
59.
drafts.
Yeah.
Less than 60 drafts there. And apparently more than one Kenny Yeboah super fan. JGFC wants Nez to cook up another pick 'em here.
Dude, we lost by the 0.5 yesterday. Nez
No.
killed it. The hook.
Yeah, we had a slider in there for OG, and he almost knocked it down in the first quarter. Ended up with like 4 or 5 3 balls, so that was really upsetting. But yeah, we're gonna get back here.
Are we doing an extender too here?
So
that's what we were going to talk about. Yeah.
Well, so you need to use yours to get it for the entire second round. We did use ours yesterday as just like the kickoff. That we did that on the show.
No. We didn't. We decided not to, and we were saving it for a series. We didn't use it with that one, Nez.
Oh, I did.
All right, John. We got.
I kept telling everyone that we were going to build one for tomorrow for a series, and run it back. And then I was like, should we pick a series and do it the same way we did it first time out?
How's this for a start, John? Hallie lower, TJ McConnell higher. I need something on Cleveland here.
Where do you find the plays? Cleveland's going to be hard to parse through right now because they got some big Q tags right now that could overinflate the Dean Wades and Sam Morrils of the world if these guys don't play, and they were all not present at shoot around. So we will see here.
Give me a play. Do we like anything with Curry here?
Curry's thumb's all jacked up. I'm down on Curry today.
Okay, there you go. Lower. I'm just getting in the game. I just got to use my 5. I want to make sure
I
live to see another day.
Yeah, that was my misunderstanding. I thought that we were just getting entry into the extender. That was why I played it. I didn't think that this was for real. That was on me. Okay,
Pete, put that one in the private chat so I can get my first extender out of the way, and then we can move on. That's a very John Pickham.
I mean,
is it ever?
We gotta just admin work around here. All right, Nez, what was it? Was it an NBA one that you got the hook on, or was it?
Yeah, I had Drew. It wasn't. Yeah, it was Drew Holiday assists, and went into OT, and we almost got it in OT. It would have been amazing, but we did not.
To be fair, Nez, they should have been using Holiday in a handling role way more than they were, because they should have been attacking Brunson. So directionally accurate on the call. They just didn't give him the ball and just kept jacking up threes on like one and done possessions.
Yeah, it was horrible basketball. Generally, really hard to watch. Hack a center and then jack up threes and brick them all. I'm glad that the ethically good basketball won last night. So yeah, the Cavs guys are Q. I lean that they don't play, and even if they do play, I like Ty Jerome threes with a slide today.
Ooh.
Oh.
Honestly, man, I like Ty Jerome 4 threes. Even if Garland plays, is he going to be 100%? Is he going to play the full game? I'm not sure. All that's been said is that he's having trouble walking around on his toe. Kenny Atkinson, head coach, described Mobley and Hunter as doubtful today. I think Hunter was present at shoot around, but it just seems pretty bad from the Cavs right now.
Okay.
And Spida has a sore calf as well. So it's not great. It's not great.
That's a 3.87 on higher than 3.5. Or Nez, you can almost triple the multiplier by taking it to 4.5.
Oh man, maybe we run it 2 times. And then what about face of the league, Anthony Edwards?
Yeah, we were typing him up earlier.
Yeah, let's just go Anthony Edwards, buckets, points here. Just keeping it simple. Home game against the Warriors. These old guys just played 7 games. They're tired. I mean, what are we looking at here?
That's a 11.6x there.
Yeah. Maybe run this 2 times. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's ship it. Put that in there. Now we'll do A little Ty Jerome slide takes that up to a 28.
Oh, baby.
28 there.
Oh, baby.
Forgot what a good influence Pete was.
I do. It's like we're back to a Friday NFL season. I'm just letting the fingers fly right now.
We can maybe do some home runs too. If it depends on how much time we have. We can maybe look at the baseball.
Keep it simple. Ant for 45.
That's awesome.
Sweet. Someone
Nice.
said NBA draft. What do we got? We got 10K to first tonight. Man, these
Yeah, we're back.
That's awesome.
All right, let's do one NBA draft here so I
Okay.
can feel what it's like. I haven't drafted an NBA team in ages, so you're gonna have to guide me.
Yeah, these 4-person drafts are fun. There's no ADP, so it's kind of like the Wild Wild West. Today, probably not a great day to draw the 1-1, just because it's pretty flat. But I've been doing Ant at the 1-1 today. But honestly, depending on like how you want to play this, it's your single bullet, Pete. You could also do Donovan Mitchell 1-1.
Ooh, okay.
All right, how
yeah,
banged up the Cavs are, he's going to have to do everything. Like they talked about him having a sore calf. I think it is what it is. Everybody's banged up. He's not on the injury report with it, but just something that I heard the beat reporters talking about. He's nursing one. He's gonna have to do a lot. I like him to score quite a bit of points tonight.
Okay, I like it. John, did he have you at flipping the board?
Kind of. The second round, I'd rather flip it in the second round and take Ant in the first here and then pull up Jared Allen to go with it. Or pull Ty Jerome from the right side to the left side in round 3. That's how I was treating it. I was doing Donovan Mitchell at 2, but yeah.
I mean, let's keep all of my rooting interests working together right now with Anthony Edwards tonight in our pick'em, and I'll grab him here at 1.
Okay.
And we'll see what Cav to get.
It's from a combo standpoint, tonight is very different than last night in terms of availability. Like you can mix and match anything. I've seen Garland fall to round 6. I've seen Mobley fall to round 3. It all depends what room you're in. So a lot of crazy shit going on. And all justifiable, to be fair.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. I'm definitely getting some exposure to like the Mobley fall, but I don't think he plays. Like I would probably do Jared Allen here, like in Miles Turner.
To skip the Q landmines.
What do you think, John?
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I genuinely don't think they play. It sounds pretty bad.
Yeah,
man, that's tough. Down 0-1 and now not playing.
Jeez. Yeah, the dance is going to get crazy if if the Pacers take this series. It's early. I wouldn't be too upset about it. I've got a surprising amount of Pacers left in the dance.
Ooh. Yeah, just for the record, I was going to share it with the next show with the paywall. We're going to go through all this, but Garland, Mobley, and Hunter not at shoot around. Peyton in the second game was at shoot around.
Oh, my bad. I forgot you guys had the next show. My bad if I stepped over it here.
No, it's fine. It's good. Get more people in the lobbies.
Yeah, so you guys gonna go roll live right after this?
Yeah,
John is. I gotta take care of little Mello. I can hear him screaming outside my door. Tag teaming with Bria.
Oh yeah. John, what is that? Pre-workout? What were you shaking up over there?
EAs.
Okay. What do we want to do here, fellas?
Did Ty Jerome just go?
He did. I was keeping an eye on him.
Yeah, he's like 14, like every
Pods
draft.
Is really interesting. Because I don't know if he starts or not. And a lot.
I like Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah, McDaniels for 1 for sure.
Okay.
And then it's kind of what you want to do. I think Pods is good if he starts. He's mid if he doesn't, kind of thing. There's a non-zero chance Buddy Hield starts tonight based on how he played in Game 7, but Yeah, I've been taking Dante or Naismith.
Yeah, I like Naismith since we have the 3 Wolves here or 2 Wolves here. Let's
Okay.
double up on Naismith.
Yeah,
All
Naismith's
right.
been just solid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like you said, the floor is the bottom may have fallen out on pods in the playoffs. If Buddy Hield starts, I think I might be in a little bit of trouble. I don't have a ton of Buddy Hield right now.
Well, let's have the conversation because you're not going to be on the show. Just briefly, what you think the Warriors starting lineup looks like tonight?
Well, Steph, Jimmy, Dre, obviously.
Yeah. Do they play big?
Yeah, I feel like they need to.
I think Post might start, and nobody drafts Post.
Yeah, I could definitely see him starting.
Yeah,
they wouldn't start Looney, right? We're over that. He'd just maybe get some run and with the second unit.
I think he gets second unit run. I think you put Post at the 5 to stretch Gobert out and take Gobert away from the basket because Post can shoot.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
Last pick.
Hunter would be the pick because there's so many ways it could break right, and then you could just swap. But if you want to go a little more gal brain than that, you can get scrolling.
Benny Math?
Yeah, sure. Admittedly, don't love Benny Math tonight comparatively, but good Canadian kid. Why not?
All right. Shelton says if Pete wins, he better share. If I win, I'll fucking break YouTube's membership gifting. There'll be like sparks flying.
Gonna get audited for all those membership gifting.
All right, John, you're running a show after this. What else do you guys want the people to know about?
No, yeah, that'll be good. And then usual time tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern. There. I don't think we got anything special tomorrow. We're just gonna kind of do our daily thing, guys.
Yeah, there'll be another NBA slate tomorrow, so we'll probably do that. And then Thursday, I anticipate a really big baseball slate. So, because there's no NBA to draft, so excited about that day.
Perfect.
Awesome. Yeah, for me, I don't have any shows tomorrow. On Ship Chasing Thursday, we're going to do a Dynasty mock draft. If you guys are in those Dynasty streets, 2 good guests, Danny Kelly from The Ringer, and of course, JJ, late round QB. So that'll be a fun show.
Nice.
If you want to watch Davis and I draft a Basketball Mania team, we just did that on Swolecast. But yeah, that is about it. Hop in the Discord with us, Deposit Kingdom. Links down below. Got channels for all the different sports there with the Badge Bros. So go check that out. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. If you guys have suggestions, we just like bouncing around, drafting these different formats. If you have stuff you guys want us to do on Off and On the Clock, let us know in the comments or the Discord. We're happy to mix it up. So next time, or until next time, we'll see you guys on Off and On the Clock. Peace.